Hey, thank you for joining me on this video. I am going to be addressing last night's debate and some concerns that I have with last night's debate. And this address is not towards anyone in particular. Well, I'll take that back. It's toward Chris and Matt in some capacity anyway. Obviously, they were the debaters last night, but it's also towards the live chat, those who are in attendance of the debate and things like that. I have some concerns that last night was one of the worst debates that I've hosted, if I could put it bluntly. It was a very concerning debate. It was a debate that really caught me off guard to some capacity. I've watched Matt debate plenty of times, and I watched Chris debate plenty of times, and I know both of them can have sort of this verbiage that can come across as being condescending, or can come across as being aggressive or being rude or anything like that, right? It's all up to the interpreter, right? The person who interprets it, right? Of how someone speaks and how someone comes off. I know Matt would admit that. Matt would admit that, and I'm sure Chris would admit that as well. So this is not me just saying nonsense, right? There were some, once again, some concerns in that area with how they interacted and how the debate was portrayed. And starting off, I'm going to take this one on the chin. This is my fault, right? I'm going to take this debate on the chin and say this was one of the worst debates that I hosted, and it was my fault, right? I should take more consideration of the two individuals that I'm allowing to interact and the type of format that these two individuals should only be allowed to have, right? With the open panel discussions, not the open panel, but the open discussions, it does allow for freestyle talking, right? Freely talking back and forth. And with two individuals like Chris and Matt, who are very dominant speakers, who are very aggressive in their speak, open discussion is probably not the best manner, right? With two guys that are like that. Now, if I put Chris with somebody else, and they have an open discussion, it's probably be a little bit different. And if I put Matt with someone else, probably a little bit different. But to put two guys like that in that type of format probably wasn't the best idea. And so I will take this one on the chin, right? I'll blame myself and take it on the chin, and I will do better next time. Well, all that said, I do believe this is one of the worst debates that was hosted on the Gospel Truth. And I really want to bring attention to not only the antics that were done in this debate, but also the behavior of those in the live chat. So first, the antics. As you guys saw, if you didn't see the debate, as you go watch it, as you guys saw, Chris was raising a drink paddle, right? Every time Matt did something or said something that Chris said that he would do in his opening statement. Every time Matt proceeded to do such a thing, or what he think Matt did, he raised the drink paddle and told everyone to take a drink. And so I thought that was incredibly unprofessional. I thought that was incredibly childish, incredibly immature to do that. We are adults, and this is not something. I said this, and within the debate itself, I said we're all adults here. Let's act like adults. That was something that was unexpected. I didn't know that was going to happen. I thought it was rather rude to do that, not just to Matt, but also just the platform. This is a platform that I want teenagers to be able to engage with too, children to engage with too. And if the drink paddle is being raised and people are in the live chat talking about drink, then there is a possibility for this video to get not be able to be seen by children or be categorized as something that's not appropriate. So my whole thing is that this Gospel Truth platform, there is no room for that. There is no room for such antics. There is no room for such behavior. And the only reason that I didn't like put out a rule sheet or anything like that, because everyone that came on, you know, they profess to be Christians. They profess to be believers in Christ. And what's interesting though, is that I've never had this issue with atheists. I never had this issue with agnostics. All the atheists and the agnostics that come on the channel have, oh my goodness, have been stellar. The professionalism is top notch. And so it surprises me that someone who professes to be Christian would do such a thing and behave in such a way. And so this is why it's concerning. One, the platform, I don't desire anyone to come to the platform and do that. And two, the world is watching, right? The world is watching our behavior patterns of how we treat each other. And so when someone who doesn't believe and someone who's an atheist, when they come on a platform, or when they're watching a platform and they see quote unquote two believers who claim to love Jesus interacting in such a fashion, it paints a bad picture, right? It doesn't give the proper picture. And so as believers, you know, as we interact with each other, we need not to act in such a way, right? We need not to act in a way that is diminishing and disrespectful. And I understand that Matt Slick, once again, people have their views of Matt. Some people really have vitriol and hatred for Matt. And some people, you know, just don't like the way he argues, you know. And people, I'm all out of hands how many people have pointed out to me that says, hey man, you shouldn't invite Matt Slick on the channel anymore because he's just not a good interlocutor, right? I've had so many people tell me that. And Matt is a friend. Matt is my dude, that's my boy. But at the same time, I do see in some category where people are coming from to where they have an issue with how Matt sort of interacts with his opponent. And I get it. I understand it. And Matt is well aware of it too, right? And I think that's why you see Matt attempting to try to subdue himself or draw him and relax himself, you know, and not, you know, not insult his opponent or anything like that. My whole thing is that overall, the Gospel Truth is not a place for all the antics, the drinking and all that. That's not this place, man. You know, and I'm not looking to remove people or not invite people anymore on the platform who do these type of things. That's not my MO, right? I'm not trying to do that. I don't want to do that, but that's not to say I won't do that. Because we can't have that, right? We can't have people behaving in such a fashion, to where people are disrespecting each other. People are not honoring each other, and people are, raising drink paddles and telling people to drink. You know, would this happen on any other platform? You know, that's the question that needs to be asked. Would this happen on Capturing Christianity? You know, would this happen on Standing for Truth? Right? And I doubt that would happen. It's becoming very clear that that this platform is is not seen as a respectable platform. Because when you do that, it shows me that you don't respect this platform. My understanding is that that type of opening or that type of opening statement on Chris's part was prepared that way. You know, it wasn't something that was just sort of happened because Matt said something or Matt got it going or stirred the pot. This was a opening statement that was prepared in that way. And so it's rather concerning that an opening statement will be prepared in that fashion. I get that, you know, in preparation, you're trying to undercut your opponent's arguments or your opponent's typical behavior patterns, if you will. But that type of preparation can get to the point where now it's not just going after your opponent. Now it's a matter of disrespecting the platform as a whole. And so I say all that to say that let's not do that, right? Let's honor each other, right? As being people who are made in the image of God. Let's honor each other and respect each other. To ensure that we do have fruitful discussions and so that these discussions can continue to happen, right? We don't want to be able to nullify these discussions. We want to be able to continue to have these discussions and be able to discuss the pertinent issues within theology, within the scriptures. And if these type of behaviors are not nipped in the butt, you know, are not corrected, then the conversation stops. And I know no one out there wants the conversation to stop. And perhaps you guys do respect the platform. It's just the individuals, certain individuals who don't respect the platform. And if we run across those individuals, if those individuals are coming on the channel and they are doing the things that I just spoke of, then chances are they won't get an invite back, because we can't have that, right? We can't have that. This is not me booting anyone. This is not me saying Chris will never come back. This is not me saying Matt will never come back. This is just me saying that we can't do that, right? Not here, not on this platform. We need to be able to hold ourselves together, respect our opponents, even if you have a dislike for your opponent. If you decided to, and you agree to debate that opponent that you dislike, then you need to honor him or her in the arena, in the debate arena. You need to honor them. What you do on your own platform is what you do on your own platform, right? But when you're on this platform and you agree to debate, if I reach out to you and you say, yes, I will debate that person, then honor that person, respect that person, treat that person with dignity and respect. Because at the very least, because they're made in the image of God, they are at least given that because they're made in the image of God. And so it is my concern that that's not happening. And in order to prevent this type of behavior from getting out of control and going over the top and other people thinking they can come on and get away with it, I'm squashing that right now. So I'm putting this warning out. If anyone pulls any antics like what we saw last night, that is it. You'll never be invited on this platform again. You'll never have an opportunity to come on this platform again. Because it's one thing to, to have dislike for an individual, but there's another thing to have an aggressive disrespect for the platform, and to have that kind of disrespect for the platform, we can't tolerate that, right? We can't have that. So I'm saying this in order to nip this in the butt, to say at this point, because it seems as though, you guys aren't, folks, especially folks from last night, the common sense is not there, right? The common sense is saying, hey, let me respect more on this platform. Obviously is not there because of the antics that were pulled last night. So I have to say this, don't do that anymore, because you will not come on this platform anymore. And you may say, well, I don't care, whatever, but I'm just saying this not only for the individuals who debated last night, but also for future individuals who come on the channel. And once again, it's a sad thing that I have to put this kind of video out there, because I don't see any other platforms putting these videos out there like that, right? Probably because they're not getting the people putting paddles up saying drink, right? They're not getting those paddles, right? They just see, well, it's an opportunity to go to Gospel Truth. And so, I'm gonna take this opportunity to go in, and act a nut. And that's not cool, right? And I got nothing but love for Chris. I got nothing but love for Matt. And so it was a bit disappointing, if I'm honest, to see the debate go on the trajectory that it did. And Chris made errors, Matt made errors. They both are guilty in some capacity of undercutting or disrespectful, or, they both have their errors, right? They both have their ways. And so I'm not pointing the finger at any particular individual. I'm just saying overall, the debate was a bad debate. It wasn't helpful. It wasn't fruitful in any capacity. And usually I'm able to follow the debate as it goes, but this particular debate was very not able to follow. And many people agree with me on that measure for sure. So that's all I really have to say as it concerns last night's debate, the behavior. And so I did want to address the moderators as well. The moderators are there to control the live chat. If you are a moderator and you are slandering one of the debate opponents, that is not tolerated. If you're a moderator that's not being equally fair to those on the opposing side, on your opposing side of the area where you disagree with, that's not right. And there needs to be some checks and balances in there as well. And this is not for all the moderators. I know a couple moderators that actually do a good job, but there are some moderators that are being accused of not being fair in the live chat. And so let's make sure we're being fair. Let's make sure we're doing things the right way, and making sure we're doing things in a manner that's honoring and respecting those in the live chat, whether you agree with them or not. Okay. Because you're a moderator and you lean more towards my theological positions, doesn't mean you have freedom to just belligerently ban people, belligerently delete comments, and belligerently talk down to debate opponents, the interlocutors. You can disagree with the theological position as far as dealing with the arguments, but when you begin to slander the opponents, you want to stay away from that and not do that. But with that said, that is all I have to say. I just wanted to express my concerns of last night's debate. And so hopefully going forward, you guys understand my concern and understand that the Gospel Truth is not a circus. It's not a ruckus house. It's not a bounce house. It's not a place for antics. It's a place to be professional, and a place that desires fruitful interaction. And so that said, just make sure you take that into consideration. Once again, I appreciate everyone who supported the ministry throughout the years. I appreciate all the debaters that have came on the Gospel Truth throughout the years. And so this is just a notice of what will not be tolerated. And hopefully going forward, you guys will honor my concerns, honor my my request of you. Okay, so that said, pray that all is well. May God bless you. May God keep you.